Okay, so these are really basic drills that we do for lop sao, and I tell people that, and I may have told you this before, so if I have, just ignore it, but I tell people that Wing Chun is like the karate system, the taekwondo system of infighting, because everything is very linear and it's very hard, kind of like most karate systems are. So it kind of gets away from the basic kung fu aspect, the spherical stuff. Where silat, Indonesian silat, is like the kung fu system of infighting. So instead of doing things very hard, like I'm doing karate, everything is very spherical as I hit. So I like to try to blend those two systems together because they work really well. They bounce off each other really well. Now, that in mind, I also like to put in Muay Thai kickboxing, Filipino Kali. I like to put in, basic karate stuff. So as I'm doing my drills, there's the Wing Chun aspect of that drill. But then with the seminars that I teach, where I'm doing the trapping, I try to make sure that the other people in the room that are doing kung fu or karate or boxing or whatever, they can add what we're doing. There are going to be aspects where they can add it to what they're doing. So it just flows, it blends in, and it's not a system all by itself where you just have to do it this way. You have to be at this range to make it work. Because as I'm fighting, as I'm sparring, at some point I'm going to be at that trapping range, and I want to just fold right into that without thinking. So as I do these, I put kicks in, I do knees, I do low kicks, I'll do headbutts. So I try to put all that stuff together. So our lop sao drills, we do 4 of them. This is the first one, or actually we do a lot. But the 4 that I use the most for beginners, and these are the ones that people will actually have to test for their black belt with. First lop sao drill is bong sao. Start with my bong sao, and I lop this down. I grab it at his wrist and just pull it down, and his elbow will pop up, and we stop. I'm sure that you already do this one. Everybody does this one. And I try to listen for those bones inside of his forearm to clack together. And my changeover for this, whenever he wants to change, as I'm grabbing, he'll just grab my wrist and pull me over, and then we're on the other side. If not, then my arms will get tired. Again, I'm sure you probably already do this. And I just pick that up. And as your students are doing this, they should be able to, at this point, close their eyes and just keep going. For this, now, if he punches with his other hand, then if my eyes are closed, I'm screwed. But we should just be able to keep going with this if we're doing just this drill. So it happens here. As I grab for his hand, he grabs mine and pulls it over and punches again. So I can do this where I'm just the only one hitting, boom, or we go back to here. Okay, so that's my first drill. Or that's really not a drill. That's just a way to get from side to side without having to say, okay, stop, let's do this side now, and we just go. Again, I'm sure you probably already do that. The next drill that I will do, from here, instead of going high to his head, I'm going to pull his arm up, and I'm expecting his elbow to shoot up like it normally does, and instead of hitting to the head with the back fist, I'll hit to the ribs. So I'll just do a palm strike to his ribs. What he's going to do, as he starts to feel that, is drop his hand low and do like a low knife hand block. So he's just using his forearm here. At this point, I will punch in from here. I'll punch it with my other hand. Boom. He'll take it. And the drill changes. So these drills change sides. Slowly, boom. I punch at him, and he finishes the drill. So this is my drill, it's not his drill. So really easy, one more time, slow. I come around, he does his low block, I punch, he does his bong sao and lap sao, and we're back into the drill again. Okay, so that's pretty easy. The next one is a little harder, but I don't think a lot harder. From here, I'm going to do a biu sao, or a spear hand, to his eyes. So I'm going to come under his arm and shoot into his eyes. I'll pull his arm back. He'll do a wu sao, or like the little knife hand. I'll grab it, and we're back on this side. So again, this is just a changeover drill. Under my arm, spear hand to the eyes, pull his arm back. He'll do a wu sao to block my punch. I'll grab it, pull, and we've switched sides. So that's pretty easy. Next, this one's a little harder, but it's not a lot harder, I don't think. I changed things around a little bit. He hasn't done this one in a while. From here, I'm going to push his hand in. So I see that his hand is right against his chest here. So his hand is right against his chest. It should be, if we're here, if he's here, it should be about midway between his wrist and his chest. That's where his hand should be. If his hand is resting on his chest, my idea is to hit that. So I'm in a bong sao, he's just hit. His hand is on his chest, and I'm just going to hit straight in. From this point, pucks out this hand, pucked out, and there's my hit. Now, you think, well, his hand is ready to hit me in the face, but it's not, because I'm kind of snapping this over into a back fist. So it's almost like doing a Chun sao, but it's a back fist. So he just gets his hand out of the way so it doesn't hit me in the face. All right, so at that point, what he will do as I punch is a biu sao with his back hand to stop me. I'll grab that, punch, and I'm on this side. Biu sao, that stops my punch. I hit, bunk. I pull this back. That hand is not in play. And we're back again. That's it. So this does not change. This is not a changeover drill. This part is not. He does a wu sao here. Wu sao's more there. Boom. I grab it and just keep going. Bam, bam. If you let your arms drop down to here, then you're going to get hit. Don't swim. Stay with the techniques. Okay, so that's the next one. One more time with that slowly. From here, let's do this hand. does a biu sao, I pull. He does a wu sao, his elbow is down, his hand is straight up and down, like this. I grab it. As I pull, if he's tight, and Rick is very tight, he's going to get punched in the face every single time. So he pops that elbow up, bink, and then we're just back on this side. Don't chase my hands. Don't chase my hands. Stay with the drill. Okay, so those are three. The next one is a little different. From here, and Rick hasn't done this one in probably a year, so we'll see what happens. As I pull his arm over and he does a bong sao up, I'm going to push it down. He's going to spring right back up with that same hand to stop me here. I'll grab, pull, he'll do a wu sao to stop me. I'll grab, and we're on the other side. So as he does it, from here, he'll pull my hand down and gum sao, which is just slapping that hand down with his other hand, and punch. I'll spring back up. He'll pull my hand, punch, pull my hand, and we're back to the drill. Slow down. Keep your hands up. Relax. So this is a changing. We change sides with this one. Wrong drill. Other hand. Like that drill. You gotta stay with the drill. You can't just start throwing crap out. Keep the drill. Don't stop it. Okay, now you're just doing this. You got to do something. So those are the 4 drills that I do for beginners. The first one, or actually I guess 5 if you consider just grabbing the hand and pulling it over. As they reach up to grab mine, I grab theirs, take it in. Then from here, I'll grab their hand and throw it down and do a low, it could be a knife hand strike, could be a slap to the ribs, doesn't matter. They'll do a low strike, a low block, and a wu sao. So my part of that drill is down, boom, punch in, they do their bong sao, and we keep going. And that's really the first one that I start with, just because it's easiest. And then from that point, we do those other 3. So that's kind of an explanation. We do a lot more. We do a lot more of those drills. But those are the ones that I think are good for beginners. And then you saw me throw some kicks in, and I try to make sure that, again, all of these drills can flow well with other systems. So as I'm doing these, one more time, as we're just doing this, whenever I stop, and I may only stop for just a split second, but whenever I stop, that's when I can throw a kick or a knee in. I can stop here, and he can do the same thing. Whenever he stops, can throw whatever he wants. Now, don't have your hand come back here when you throw that kick. Make sure it's in a good position. I can start doing headbutts. Headbutts here. I can do headbutts as I change pop. I can change the drill into what we call hubud and Kali. I'll go up. Go ahead. Here, and he'll take it with the same hand. Go under. Or you can punch straight off of the hubud drill. Now, hubud. Hubud. Punch in. That's it. 1, 2, 3. That hand hits. That's what happens when you're off for a year. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Pox out. Punch. So, 1, 2, 3. So here's my hubud drill for punching straight in. Oop, and we're back into our bong sao lap sa drill. He was going to hit me low. So that's just kind of playing around with just that one drill. We've got, next time I'll try to send you some more chi sao drills that are real basic. As I'm doing chi sao, we're going back and forth. I'll put a lot of kicks in mine. Boom, boom. And so it'll be fun just to kind of play around with. All right.